April spring, I created this 5 to 15 minute dress that all of my friends have now too. So they thought I should film it and show you how to make it. Okay, what do you need to make the 5-minute dress? You need a piece of fabric like this. It's best to use a woven, means it's the same color on both sides. So when you tie it up, you're gonna see, no surprises. And you'll need a roller or a tape measure. I kind of end up with both. And you'll need a pair of scissors and something to mark it with, whether you use chalk or a marking pencil or, like I said, a piece of tape. So you need really 4 things. And a stretchy fabric is great. So what we're going to do is to start, I grabbed a couple pieces of tape because I think this is really easy. We're just going to put it around your chest because you're going to be tying it here. Don't worry about your length of your bows yet. You're just going to put it here, and let's put a piece of tape on each side so you know how much fabric to cut off. And then you want to check your hips too. So I'm going to grab a couple more pieces of tape here. Oops, my tape's falling out. Here's a couple more pieces of tape. Let's just make sure that my hips gather at the same spot. So I want to make sure I have plenty of space. So I need at least here, and then it's my bows. So let's put a piece of tape there. And I'm pinching it in the middle. See, I'm pinching it to make sure it goes around my hips. And you want it fitted, and it's just going to flow at the bottom. We're not going to tie all the way down. And then we're going to put a piece there. So I know that that's wide enough. And it's stretchy. Held it up and measured it and put some tape on each side. So now if you see, if I lay it down, my hips are a little wider than my chest. Don't look at that too closely. What we're going to do is cut for length before we cut for width, okay? So I want mine to be touching the floor when I wear my super 4-inch heels. And I'm 5'9". I like to add 6 inches just in case. So I can always cut it off, right? So that's 75 inches. So I've got my ruler here. I run it down, or my tape measure. 60 inches, and then I need another 15 inches. So we got another 15 inches. There we go. Let's move this little piece of tape here. I don't know how the tape... Yep. All right, let's move my tape to right there. Okay, and now we're going to cut that. So I'm going to get my scissors. Okay, and I think I can I'm going to turn my tape measure like this, so I can follow it across, because I am the worst cutter. So my really good professional seamstress dressmakers would die if they saw me cutting fabric. Now we have my fabric cut. We're 50 inches wide still. So we don't need all that width. And but now I've got it just right, I think, at 75 inches. It's probably going to be a little too long, but let's just see after we get it all prepared on the body. So right now, remember, I picked up my fabric and I wrapped it around me. So we'll repeat that. Let's just go. So I've got my fabric like that. I'm going to show you this length in a second. Look at this. So it's quite long, right? So, but when we get it all regular and we get our real high heels on, it might be just right. So I think we did pretty good with 75 inches. So that rule, your height plus 6 inches, I think might be just right. So then we gathered it before, and we made a mark here to know how wide we wanted it. We put tape on each side. And you notice we got the bust, which is probably your bust, 34 inches, or 30 in my body here. So I'm going to have to cut more because I'm very narrow in here. And then this is 30, oh, should we tell? Anyways, this is just right. It's a little bigger than the top. Okay, so now I'm going to fold the fabric in 2. So let's fold it in 2. How easy is this? Okay. It's really quite easier than this, but I'm trying to give you instructions, so it takes a little longer for me. All right, but when I'm by myself, I'm zip, zip, zip. Okay, so we've got it folded in half. This time you want to get it pretty even here. Okay, now we have our fabric all ready to tie, to do our last cuts, and we're going to be able to put it on. It's really quick now. So here's what my body needs, and here's what my hips need. Okay, so they're the two parts, my bust and my hips. But we don't need all this extra fabric. Plus, this one seems to have a little edge. A lot of our fabrics have an edge, so we want to cut this off anyway. So we're going to add. Now we need a little extra because we're going to cut strips every 4 inches all the way down this dress. Okay, all the way down every 4 inches. So we're going to need a little extra than our body. This is where it hits my body. So I want to add another 3 inches past the tape. So we're going to move our tape. So now our tape is here. So we want to pull it off. And we want to move it, let's just say, I'm going to put it at 4.5. We can always trim those edges. So I've got it at 4.5 now. So let's go down here. Peel up. Let's don't move. Don't forget where it is. And put it at 3.5. Let's put our tape. Okay, so that's what we have extra. We want to cut off all the way down. So let's see how much extra we're going to cut off of this fabric. We're cutting off about 3 inches, and that's on both sides. So let's just cut off this extra 6 inches. Okay, so we're going to do that now. It's extra fabric. You can see that my hips are a little wider, so there's a bit of a curve. Okay, and then we're going to go all the way down and cut the extra fabric off. We go every 4 inches. Here's the first one I cut. We decided to lay the ruler tape measure down and just tape it, and then you just go count every 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, cut. All the way to your tape measure. Have a nice plastic one so you don't cut it. 1, 2, 3, 4, cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, just to make sure. Okay, now we've got our cuts all the way down. And now you can see why my friend Ron calls this the car wash dress. It looks like a car wash with the slits going down. Okay, now, and we did them all the way to the bottom because they're just going to kind of hang. We're not going to tie it all the way down. Here we go. Now we're done with that. We can pull everything out and it's ready to put it on. Look, it already looks like something. Look at this. I've already got like a little evening gown going on, and it's just what, a couple yards of fabric that we pulled out of our closet, and we cut strips all the way down, 4 inches down, 3.5 inches deep. And that was for me because I'm about a size 6, 4, 6. And now I'm tying them in just knots. Look at that. Knot, knot, and I'm making it so it's real snug under me. Here we go. The next one, I'm taking the 2 little 3.5 inch cuts and I'm tying them in knots. And of course you'll be like me. I'm tying them on my clothes first because I want to see if I cut any, but I think I got it just right. Look at this. Well, the first time I ever put this dress on, I was just like, oh, this is really going to be cute. So of course when I first put it on, I went, oh no, this isn't going to work. Hello? We can see in there. So I was like, oh, what are we going to do about that? And I thought, oh, I can turn it. But instead of turning the top, I went like this and just turned the bottom. So your bows go from the center here, and they wrap all the way down the side. So here we are, we'll keep tying knots. And we have knot, and we're going to keep going. Okay, we're ready to finish up our 5-minute dress because we're at the point now where we need to take the clothes off and get the high heels on and the jewels. Guess what? I'm wearing my 5 to 15-minute dress, and I started tying the bows, and then I just twisted it to the side. And a little trick that I do, you can show as much skin as you want, is I usually tie it to my thong here. Wear a little tiny black thong that matches, and I tie this one right on the thong, so then it doesn't move around. And I have danced salsa all night in this dress, and the girl came up the stage to ask me where I got the salsa dress. So I know that it won't move. Now I ended up with it extra long, and I have on 4-inch heels. See, so it could actually look very cool walking, right? You could just leave it long if you wanted an evening gown, or you can trim it off. But you don't have to tie the other ties. You can leave it up higher here. But here's your glam dress. And sometimes I really wear a great necklace with it and great earrings. And I just have on simple jewelry today. But look at that. You just took a piece of fabric, you cut it like a car wash, and you tied it in knots. And the shorter these bows, the more exposed skin you'll have, and the bigger the hole, the more skin you'll show. But look at this. You can't beat it.